Dream is a fascinating experience. It makes the incredible credible, impossible possible for that moment. Every one of us have dreams, but how many of us would want to make our dream our reality? We too have our dream, and today we'd like to share it with you. Hi Robert, Kim and everyone. My name is Vijay and my wife is Grace and our two lovely kids Eva and Elias. We were born in Singapore, a sweet little tropical island in the heart of Asia. Singapore is filled with good food, clean space and fast-paced society, though it's a bit tiny. Without any natural resources, Singapore relies and invests heavily on the only one natural resource, which is human capital. Grace and I are indeed thankful for being born and living in Singapore for the last 30 years. However, we always have our dreams. We wanted to travel the world, meet new friends across the globe, appreciate different culture for their specialties, share ideas and learn without boundaries, and discover new ways to add value to society. So at mid-career, we decided to have a change in our professional lives. We quit our civil service and sold away all our possessions and packed our life in a suitcase. Just then, I was blessed to do my postgrad studies in the UK in 2011. At that moment, basically we didn't have enough funds to invest in my postgraduate studies and our transition to UK. So we sold our property in Singapore, which was like a 4-room HDB apartment. We bought this apartment in 2006 while the property prices were low due to the economic crisis which occurred in 2001 and the property bubble burst in somewhere in 2006. But by the time when we wanted to sell the property in 2010, basically the property price was at its peak. This is due to the fact that there was a general focus in Asia at that time, economic expansion in Asia, and due to that, the property prices in Singapore kind of rise, and we made it pretty good at that time when we sold the house. So what we did was we invested the proceeds to our postgrad studies and eventually moved from Singapore to UK. And now in 2012, we have been blessed to now move to Germany, where I have got a work commitment to look at. But the key thing is that while we were going through this big change and transition in our life, there was a very big question in our heart. So now there was this big question in us. It's basically, how are we going to grow these funds? How are we going to reach our dreams while we are still looking at a reality? How are we going to fully leverage and grow ourselves through this journey? We had a lot of ideas, but what we needed was a bit more clarity and a more directed, organized way of movement from where we were. We constantly search for new ways to do that, and we were just hoping to look for support which has been tried and tested and is proven that could help us to reach our goals. It's not that we lack skills, motivation or energy. We just kind of lacked this understanding about financial system. So basically we felt that this is where we should focus our effort on. So in December 2011, I applied for Rich Dad coaching, and prior to that I have read Robert's books on some of the topics on Rich Dad and Poor Dad, and also on entrepreneurship. And what he taught in his books kind of resonated in what I believed, and many times it allowed some paradigm shifts in my own approach to investment. So I believe that it is the way to go and give myself the opportunity to learn and make it happen for my family and myself. I didn't want to just sit back and give excuses that I will do something else, or I will try something different. Although I was a bit skeptical at the start because I'm not sure whether I could be coached, but my coach persistence and clear strategies and my willingness to learn and be coached reach our aspirations and financial goals. The Rich Dad's coaching syllabus and strategies were progressive and holistic. Through the program, I had a better idea about myself, basically my personality, my aspirations, my strength and weakness in a much clearer and realistic way. The online materials that was given to me through the reading and the audio listening from Robert and his fellow coaches opened my eyes to new possibilities and contexts which I was previously unaware of. It changed my perception of money, the opportunities that are around me, the asset classes and how we could leverage them, and the fundamental idea on cash flow and its effects. On top of that, the discussion with my personal coach was also very focused and clear. My coach is really persistent, and I thank her for that. I will let you know why soon. Through the coaching, her quick insight gave me clear guidance and techniques which I could immediately employ to overcome the challenges I was facing at the time. I think that was really helpful and critical for me. Let it be property, business, or even time management issues, I was able to get good support from her and encouragement. In addition, I also had access to the resource line, which is a great source for instant support in the absence of my coach. As the saying goes that, learning which truly influences behavior is always self-discovered. So through the assignments that I was given, it was like basically it involves a lot of my personal reflection and assessment of my own current financial needs and wants, eventually equipping me with the tools that I can use to build my own financial plan. And I think that was really exciting when I kind of really understood what I'm doing and putting it together with more feeling and passion and vision. So I think that was really very inspiring. And of course, the cash flow game that I was playing with my wife, many nights that we used to play, it was really fun and exciting because many times we just kind of challenge each other and see who will come out of the rat race quickly. At the same time, we also explored with the different role play scenarios to learn from the different contexts. And what you see here at the top is my real estate company, Libertas Real Estate, which I'm currently building. I show you a sneak peek just now, but basically that's what I'm working on now. And below that is my paper assets, which I hope to continue to build on in Singapore. And last but not least is my business ideas, which are critical for our future. And of course, while I work on this cash flow strategy, my critical other aspects are my key financial goals, which you will see later towards the end. And these goals are never complete without clear action plans and timelines to make it happen on the ground. So maybe just to give you some experience and sharing about how I went about building my Libertas Real Estates. While through the program, I was basically engaged in other activities to hasten my learning process so that I can just jump to action anytime. I started looking at US properties, which is favorable due to the economic condition. I also talked to like-minded friends, investors, and started practicing the lessons that I have been learning. Therefore, I caught my coach off guard somewhere in late January 2012. That was like just a month into the coaching program. I just kind of gave her like a 2 or 3 days notice that I'm flying into New York to buy my first investment property. She was really shocked because according to plan, I'm supposed to go in April 2012, which was like 3 months later. So while I was in US, despite the technical communication problem we faced, my coach kind of really tried contacting me and coached me on the go. And maybe some of you may feel that I'm very rash in my move, but in my view, I was all set and ready to go and purchase my first investment property. And of course, thanks to my coach, he continued to kind of really run through some of the key fundamental points that were critical for my situation at the time. For example, building my team with like-minded expertise and thorough understanding of the neighborhood, rental opportunity, and basically the numbers. The numbers are really critical. The ROI, the cash flow cannot be forgotten. So I went to purchase a property which had seller financing and was in a very good condition, location as well, and yielding ROI of 15%. And thanks to God, Grace and my kids, my coach, my investor friends in Singapore, real estate management team in the US, We made it happen, and Libertas Real Estates was born. And of course, the fun doesn't end here. This is where it kind of all begins. And to add more fun to this, 1 week later, just 1 week later in February, right after I came back from US, we were ready to move to Germany, and this is due to my work commitments. And of course, that opened up more opportunities to us. The German market is really very interesting because the owner occupation is only about 45%, which is like roughly about half of the ownership as compared to Singapore. So apparently, even though the Euro crisis kind of affected the exporting capacity of Germany, basically, the domestic consumer spending was kind of encouraged through this situation. The issues such as the low unemployment rates, the increased urbanization, the low borrowing costs that was issued by the banks at about 3%, and the need to protect capital against inflation, the mindset of people has kind of driven the property prices higher since 2011. So now, after doing all this research, we had a lot more options coming back at us. We could choose to rent the property just like anyone else, but we kind of just pushed ourselves further, and we, even though we were new to the place, we didn't know the language, we didn't know the people, we didn't know much. We relied on our kind of the lessons that we have learned through the coaching that we have applied for the US market, and we kind of translated to the German market. We basically looked at the numbers, the economic conditions, the properties, the rental opportunities, the neighborhood, and finally financing options. So while we were doing this, we indeed faced challenges, but our coach kind of reminded us to keep ourselves focused on our company mission, and also rely back on the numbers that which basically can't lie to us. So this helps us to make wise choices in our investment. So as you see from this picture, this is the apartment that we bought, and we bought this just while we were in Germany for just 1 month, and thankful that we were able to apply the principles we learned from the coaching that we did in the US property. While we were here, we kind of search for the similar like-minded team members to communicate and make it happen in German as well. So we foresee that this investment could potentially yield 5% ROI annually for us. So while I was preparing this slide, like just last night, we kind of tear down the kitchen and we refitted it, and before that we resurfaced the flooring and so on. We got new furnishings, and basically now we are having good fun in Germany, and we are learning a lot, and it's been a great experience so far. Now what you see here is basically the financial goals that which we have kind of set for ourselves, and basically it's kind of the priority list that you see. First, we aim to increase our passive cash flow to achieve our secure planned goal of US $2,000, and we hope to do so by purchasing more cash flow properties. Secondly, we are concurrently working on our business plans and needs analysis to build our next asset class. Finally, we are looking into building our knowledge and competencies in investing in paper assets. The Rich Dad coaching experience has been fantastic, and I'd like to thank Robert and Kim for this excellent coaching program. It has been really, really beneficial for us. And through this session, we were able to map out our clear financial goals. We changed our perception of our money, open up our eyes to the many opportunities that are available to us, and fueled our desire to do better than before. And we are thankful to our coach who held us accountable and was always there for us, providing the coaching on the go. In conclusion, we'd like to leave you with this quote by Pamela Wallstar: "Reach high, for stars lie hidden in your soul. Dream deep, for every dream precedes the goal. that you too will reach for the stars and make your dreams your reality as we do. Over here you can see some of our pictures that we have taken during our first Europe trip. We kind of like just went around 4 countries in just 5 weeks. We enjoyed ourselves, had a lot of fun, and learned a lot of things. So we like to kind of share this with you. And also we like, if you like to kind of find out more about our adventure, you could just see our blog and leave your comments. We love to hear from you, and we wish you all the very best in your future. Just keep moving forward and believe in yourself. Thank you.